Let's head back to the 70s for a killer car movie. Let's do it. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Hope everyone's doing well out there. We're going to head back to 1977, Friday the 13th, 1977, for a little horror film called The Car. Yes, this film was directed by Elliot Silverstein, and his edict from the studio, Universal Studios, was to make Jaws on land. Now, two films inspired this film, both directed by Steven Spielberg. Duel was the first film, and Jaws was the second film. Now, in this film, we got James Brolin as Wade. He's a deputy in this little town in Utah. R.G. Armstrong, who's a fabulous character actor who's been in many films, from Predator, Children of the Corn, many films, plays Amos in this film. We also got a really young Ronnie Cox in this film as Luke. He's another deputy on this small town police force. We got Kim Richards in this film, and the only reason I even bring her up, she plays Wade's daughter, or James Brolin's character's daughter, because she was in John Carpenter's Assault in Precinct 13, and her sister's also in this film, Kylie Richards, and she was Lindsay in Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, and she's going to be in the new Halloween, Halloween Kills. I thought that was pretty cool. Now, this film was shot in Utah, and they definitely take advantage of the desert vistas and the mountains and the rock formations. The Blu-ray by Scream Factory did a fantastic job with the transfer. It absolutely looks gorgeous for this little film from the 70s. And basically, the movie starts off with a quotation across the screen, and it's from the Satanic Bible. And all of a sudden, this car, we see this guy on the side of the road hitchhiking for a ride. And we also get introduced to R.G. Armstrong's character, and he's kind of like a drunken, abusive asshole of a guy. And he gives this guy shit because he's out front playing this tuba, or French horn, or whatever. I think it's a French horn. And he tells him to shut up, or he's going to come out there and kick his ass. And the guy shuts up, and he sees a car coming out in the distance on this dirt road. And there's dust everywhere, and he can't really see the car. And that's when we first see the car, from the title of this film, which the car in this film is a 1971 Lincoln Continental Mark III, painted all black and customized for this one to make it look like Satan or an evil car. And it cost $84,000 per car, and they made 4 of them for this film. Each one did something different. I think 2 were for stunts, and 1 was for driving, and 1 was for something else. And this car runs this hitchhiker over. And that's what begins the investigation by the local sheriff's department. And as the film goes along, the car shows up out of nowhere, like it just appears out of nowhere, like it's almost like a supernatural figure. And it kills somebody, and it takes off, and nobody knows where it is. And the cops are on a manhunt for this car, and whoever could possibly be driving it. And as the film goes on, the sheriff gets killed, and now Wade's in charge. And the car, actually, there is some really inventive kills. This is a PG-rated movie. It's only an hour and 36 minutes long, so there's some blood. We see these 2 bicyclists in the beginning of the film get killed by the car. They get ran off over a bridge by it, which chases them down this highway. The best kill in the film, though, is James Brolin's character has a girlfriend, and he tells her to go home to pack her things up and come to her house. So he has one of his deputies take her. The deputy says, "I'll be back in like 15 minutes. I have to go check on my family, and I'll be right back." And she's in her house, and she can hear the horn, because the horn of this car is very specific. It's actually quite unnerving because the way it just keeps honking and honking and honking. And she's on the phone, and the camera's on her this way, and there's a picture window right here in her house, and you can see headlights coming down the road, and she's like on with James Brolin's character going, "I can hear the horn, I can hear the horn, it's coming, it's coming." And the car races and busts right through the front of the house, runs her over, and goes right out the back of the house and keeps going. It's a very cool shot, probably the coolest shot of the whole movie, and I think it's definitely the most inventive kill of the whole film. Now, there is some excellent stunt work in this film as well. It's a car. There's a chase scene in the movie where 2 deputies in 2 different cars are chasing the car, and the car's coming towards them, and the deputies are in both lanes blocking it, trying to almost playing chicken with it, and the car flips itself and hits both cars. And they did it practically. Obviously, it was 77. There was no CGI. And then it rolled back over and keeps going. It's a really cool effect, and got to give kudos to the stunt team on that one. It's really well done. Now, sometimes when the cars in this film, when they're chasing after the car, there's a lot of camera manipulation to make them seem like they're going faster than they are. You could spot it easily, considering the age of the film. They didn't hide it very well. And at the end of the film, they decide they're going to blow this car up with this dynamite. Because they tried to shoot it, no bullets will even touch the car. That kind of goes off to the side. Because they even, Ronnie Cox's character even says the car might be from hell, might be from Satan. Like that's what brings the supernatural element into it. He's the one that comes to that realization that it might be supernatural and not somebody actually driving the car. And even James Brolin's character realizes this when he has a confrontation with it. He can't do any damage to the car at all, and it kind of just takes off without, he couldn't shoot it. He tries shooting it at point blank range and the bullets don't even phase it, doesn't even make a dent in it, doesn't scratch, don't break the windshield, nothing. And at the end of the film, they lure the car out into the middle of nowhere and they blow it up with all this dynamite with the help of Amos, because he works at this dynamite plant or this place where they do blasting. I guess it's a mine. They don't really set that up too well. They might have said it. I've seen this movie many times over the years. It used to be played on TV a lot when I was younger. But this is the first time I watched it in a while. I saw this was on sale on Amazon, I think for like $14, and I bought it because it's a movie I remember watching. It's not the greatest horror film, let's be honest. It's a cheesy little movie about a killer car, but it's pretty well. There's some really nice shots of the desert and rock formations. There's some really cool stunts, and there's some interesting things they do with it. And the cast is pretty good. James Brolin's good in it. Ronnie Cox is good in it, and some of the other actors are good. There's a couple actors that aren't that good, but all the name actors are fine, like R.G. Armstrong. They're all doing good work here for this little low-budget exploitation film, although it's not really that exploitative, because like I said, it's not that gory. There's a little bit of blood here and there, but it's mostly off screen. Now the effect at the end when they blow up the car, there's supposed to be like this satanic figure in the fireball that erupts. The effect does not really work that well. They didn't have the money, and it's 1977, so they didn't really have the technology. So that effect does not come off the greatest. But overall, it's a fun movie with some good performances and some good stunt work and some beautiful imagery of the desert in Utah. It's just a cool little horror film. It's not the greatest movie ever. I would give The Car a 6.5 out of 10. I think it deserves that. It's not the greatest film, but it's an interesting little movie from 1977 with a decent little cast, and what can you say? I like a good killer car movie. We don't get too many of these. So yeah, 6.5 out of 10 for The Car. Have you ever seen this film? Leave a comment down below, let me know. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back next week with my Dirty Harry rankings and some more reviews. Until then, I hope you're all doing well out there, and I'll just leave you with bye.